When it comes to making a responsible energy decision for your family and the planet, choose clean natural gas from Atmos Energy. Natural gas is safer and more reliable than other energy solutions and can reduce your home's carbon emissions by up to 45%. By using less total energy than other energy sources, natural gas lowers your impact on the environment. It's just another way that Atmos Energy makes your life better. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
This is our love, this is our life, this is our home, Louisiana. This is our day, come what may. This is our together strong, forever alone. This is our home. This is our life, this is our home.
Welcome to week one of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with the coach at the Marriott Hotel, 5500 Hilton Avenue. Coach, brand new season. We come into this season, though, with the luxury we didn't have last season, an optimistic outlook. Veterans in the dugout. How big is that from an optimism standpoint?
It's always good. Life is about optimism.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if you don't have it, you're going down a dead road. And that will never happen in my program.
We have highlights that will roll from week one of the season, part of the MLB Invitational. We'll talk about that later on in the show, Coach. But last year, obviously, somewhat painful because of the roster purge. Looking back on that experience now, would you have done the same thing in hindsight?
With the things that are facing us, it was the best thing to do in order to get out of it quicker. We could have prolonged it. Had we, keep in mind the year before, right after we played for the championship, I purged the roster. Now, we could have brought kids and played for a championship, but it would have lingered into a long time. So quicker we did it, the faster we come out of it.
Again, let's roll the highlights in the truck from the MLB Invitational Game 1. As we continue, Coach, looking at where we were this time a year ago, the benefit of last year, the purge and everything else, are we ahead or about at the same place?
We are ahead. And when I did the purge and I said 2018 would be the year we will make hay. We'll make hay, Clarence, in 2018. And that's what I said back then, and I still believe it today, because we'll be able to sign kids in April for the 18 season.
Obviously, one of the areas that we're looking at seriously in this season, not only from a hitting standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint as well, is going to be the position of catcher after Jose De La Torre graduated.
Yeah, that's a big spot to fill. And right now, Bobby Johnson have done a relatively good job the first 3 games, but it's a long season and we don't have the depth. So durability is the name of the game with him. If he can stay healthy and be able to call a good game and improve, improve as we go down the road.
So how much does all of this translate into a difference in the dugout? I don't mind telling you, after watching the team last year in the dugout, you could see that the team lacked confidence at points during the season and during the games where they weren't sure of themselves to lift one another up when times got tough. How big a difference do you expect this to make in that regard?
I think it's going to be a lot better as we go forward. Now, we still are, building a championship team doesn't happen overnight. So you're going to have some struggle as you go along. And the key to as a coach is to make sure the players understand every Hall of Famer struggle.
Right.
So let's be realistic. This is a game of failure.
And of course, you have always said throughout the years, one of the things that separates the game of baseball from all the others is that it is a game predicated on failure. And of course, how you deal with failure in life, as in baseball, oftentimes determines how successful you will be as a person. We'll take break one, get that out of the way, and when we come back, segment 2 of this week's Week 1 edition of the 2017 edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Play Saints Gold from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Collect all 3 seeds.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Baton Rouge. Striking out is never fun, especially when it comes to your credit. So write this down, DiamondMonster.com. Through their great financial sources, they'll work to get you the lowest interest rate possible. That means lower payment on a better car, like a new Mazda or a great used car. I promise it'll be a car you will love at a price you would like. I've known these people for over 20 years, and they'll treat you like an MVP on Airline Highway or DiamondMonster.com.
Welcome back for segment 2 of week 1 of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Coach, as we get into this segment, we'll go ahead and roll the B-roll from game 2 of the Urban League Invitational down in New Orleans. Let's start with the fact that outfielder Dondreas Harris named SWAC Preseason Player of the Year this year. It's been a while since we had a Jaguar to claim that prize, Coach.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I wish they hadn't named Dondreas there because he's trying to do more than he's capable of. This is the problem when people start putting that kind of pressure on people. Everybody don't handle. Now, in years past, when we had those real talented players, was not a problem because they were surrounded by good players. Harris doesn't have that necessarily right now.
Right. We were also picked to finish 4th in the West. Does this team have the mindset to take that as an insult and use that as motivation to prove to the SWAC and everybody else that we're better than that?
Only time will tell, and I think we will improve. I'm not that concerned with how we start, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
I just see improvement as we go down the line. My biggest concern is how do we play in late March, April, and then into May. That's my only concern right now. So it's not where you start, it's where you finish, and it's been one of my lines I've used forever, and it's so true.
Again, we will go back to the Urban League Invitational. We'll roll the B-roll out in the truck as Coach and I continue working our way through what we expect this season. Another player who'll be looking to improve on his performance of a year ago is Troy Lewis. He had an interesting meeting with you last year, did he not?
Well, it's this year.
This year?
Yeah, in the fall, because he wanted to have more leadership and said that he was terrible last year. And, you know, whether or not he does good or not, the fact that he admitted that he wanted to be a better person, a better example for some of the younger players.
You got to admire that.
You have to admire it.
Yeah.
And I admire the hell out of it because I think it's great that's, you know, he wanted to do that.
Right.
And, you know, that's what really life is about. Mature people, being an example for younger people.
And from that coming from a young man his age, you and I, on more than our fair share of occasions, have the opportunity to interact and engage with young people. to see a young man understand this, willing to accept it, and then to move himself to act on it says a lot about the character of where he is now and potentially what he has the character to become, doesn't it?
It does. It speaks volume, man. That's why I try to, every day, I tell him, don't worry. And I use the example of a legendary baseball player from Japan, Sadao.
Right.
Sadao hit 855 home runs. Every night after a game, he took 1,500 swings.
Wow.
And I tell him the thing that made Sadao different is that he never took what happened on this day into the next day. Mm-hmm. That's why he did the 1,500, because he knew he was going to fail. So so we got to understand, it's not what happened here, it's what's going to happen in front of you.
Ultimately, how do you guard against a player getting too down on himself and ended up putting too much pressure on himself so that he never reaches his full potential?
Put him on the bench. That's with this young people. That's the best thing. You know what? It's going to happen.
Right.
And I mean, these guys fantasize in the room, in there, wherever they are. They fantasize of grandeur that they're going to do.
Right.
And that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, is you got to let the game come to you, and you have to make sure you take advantage of what happened in the game.
Mm-hmm. You're watching there a B-roll of action from this past weekend down in New Orleans during the Urban League Invitational. As we wrap up these highlights, we will go to commercial break, and when we come back, segment 3 of Week 1 of the 2017 Jaguar baseball season on the Coach Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Play Saints Gold from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Collect all 3 seeds.
Welcome back for segment 3 of Week 1 of the Coach Roger Cador Show. We'll go ahead and go straight to video now from this weekend's Urban League Invitational as Coach and I continue our conversation. Coach, let's talk pitching. We've narrowed down the weekend rotation. How much do you think last year's trying season is going to help as far as our pitching staff is concerned this season?
Well, it helps if you can add some arms to what we have to work with.
Right.
And look like, based upon this first weekend, we had 2, Jacob Snyder and Wilhelm Allen, 2 young freshmen out of New Orleans.
Right.
And they have proven they pitched 9 innings and they only gave up 1 run.
Awesome.
That was beautiful to see how they came in and took advantage of this opportunity, and they were cool as a cucumber.
Cool as the other side of the pillar.
Oh, cool as the other side of the pillar, yeah. They were really cool, and they did a really good job, so very pleased with it. And, we need Damian Franklin and Harold Miles and Tyler Robertson. We need them to pitch well. If they pitch well, it's going to make us a lot better.
Of course, now, just as important as the pitching is the catcher's position. You made a request not too long ago of Frankie Montesino that seemed a little bit out of character for him. What did you propose? Why did you propose it? And what was his response to it?
Well, you know, we knew we needed someone to catch, and I looked at the staff. I look at the roster, and let's be realistic. He was the one that I felt could catch.
Right.
And he's not that bad. We just don't want to force feed him.
Right.
We want to get it in there where we can work him down the stretch and let him work in there and get some inning. And he'll do quite well in the backup role.
Of course, now, there's no substitute for experience. And this year, fortunately, we have the benefit of a Nicholls State transfer in the form of Bobby Johnson.
Yeah, Bobby, and he's a catcher by trade. And Frankie hadn't caught since he was 11 years old, so that's a long time ago.
That's a long time.
But
yeah.
you know what? He wanted to do whatever he wanted to for the team, you know. So that's important.
Can you stress enough how important chemistry with the pitching staff is when it comes to making a decision as far as who the catcher is going to end up being?
Well, the catcher is key for the pitcher.
Right.
Because the catcher gives the pitchers the confidence they need.
Uh-huh.
And I tell them, you got to talk to your pitcher.
Right.
Bobby, you got to tell him, walk away from your daddy, but stay with your mama. Come to me, baby. Come to me.
I love
you
it.
See, you know,
Say that again, Coach.
Walk away from your daddy, but stay with your mama. Come to me, baby. Come to me.
I love it.
You see, if you say that to a pitcher, you'll be surprised. The confidence builder.
Right.
Now, it's unorthodox because in today's society, people don't use it.
Right.
But in the league we play in, it is acceptable.
Right.
And it's really a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Is chemistry something that's naturally there, or is it something that you got to cultivate, something that has to be developed?
It has to be developed. You have to try and recruit the right people. And then if it's a little there, then you have to build upon it and give the kid the confidence that they need to make stuff happen, you know. So it's something we could do. I'm looking at that play now. Dontrell Harris, you know, we should have scored here, and he didn't. We'd have had a trip, and we'd have tied that game up.
Right.
And I tell him, I'm one of those coaches. I'm a riverboat gambler when you're in some situation.
Right.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive for me and let me make the mistake, and I'll take the pressure off of you.
Well, when we come back, the one exception to the walk away from your daddy but stay with your mama, we come back, who's your daddy? Coach Roger Cador. Back with segment 4 of this week's edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show.
Trust is the key that transforms strangers into friends.
At Southern Teachers and Parents Federal Credit Union, we believe in lending a helping hand.
Transforming your dreams into reality. Because with friends, you can do anything.
Come on by and check out our competitive loan rates. We'll see your dreams come to life.
Whichever loan, we have you covered.
Baton Rouge. Striking out is never fun, especially when it comes to your credit. So write this down, DiamondMonster.com. Through their great financing sources, they'll work to get you the lowest interest rate possible. That means lower payment on a better car, like a new Mazda or a great used car. I promise it'll be a car you will love at a price you would like. I've known these people for over 20 years, and they'll treat you like an MVP on Airline Highway or DiamondMonster.com.
Welcome Welcome back for segment 4 of week 1 of the 2017 season of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with the coach at our home for the 2017 season, the Marriott Hotel at 5500 Hilton Avenue. Segment 4, traditionally, we get our special correspondent, Aaron Fulbright, to deliver a special report. Aaron, it's all yours.
I had a pretty good year last year, but
a pretty good year?
Yeah, I could have did better.
Humble.
Pretty good year is an understatement for senior outfielder DeAndres Harris. Harris finished with a .346 batting average and went 5 for 5 in the finale of the series against Grambling. Heading into the new season, Harris was named preseason SWAC Player of the Year. Harris says he wasn't expecting that and feels he can improve.
It's a big honor. I wasn't expecting it, that's for sure. One day my coaches, they sent me a text saying I got preseason player of the year. Oh, okay, so now I got to go out and perform. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but it's everybody telling me it's a great honor to have. And so now I'm just trying to show my efforts on the field.
What got him to this point? He says the fact that he is a hard worker, he gives 110%, and he is a team player, but also being in the right spot and having a great team.
In the right spot at the right times. My teammates can count on me to get the job done, and that's just respect the game. We always depend on one of each other, and we always can come through for one of each other. So it's just that bond that we have. And on the field, once you have that bond, you automatically gonna play better. So I feel like that team chemistry that you have at that time is very, very important.
Kicking off the regular season, Harris is ready for the challenges that lie ahead with a schedule against UNO, Grambling State, and Alcorn. We remember Alcorn from last season in the tournament when Southern came back to win it in the 9th inning.
UNO is a great program, actually. I heard they did pretty good last year, made it to regionals, I think. And so that's going to be a challenge for us, but I think it's a challenge that we can handle. And you know, the Grambling and Southern series is always a fun challenge. So we know those guys kind of personally, and so it's just a lot of fun. But Alcorn, I remember we played them last year in the tournament, and we came all the way back in the 9th inning, I think, to beat them. And so that they're going to be looking to get some payback on us, but we just got to come through.
Harris not only excels on the field, but also in the classroom. He's a computer science major, and that might be where he does his best work.
It's software development, programming. I love programming. I don't know, it comes easy to me, and I enjoy doing it, just like baseball. So it's up there on my top loves.
Loving baseball and sports is something that is instilled in the Harris family as well. He said his dad is the reason for his and his twin brother's success on the field.
My dad, he trained us to where we won't never give up, and whatever we do it at 100% because somebody's always watching, looking at you. And so he wanted us to be a great example, and I think we're feeling that. And
as always, thank you, and we can only hope that the preseason pick will end up bearing fruit before all is said and done. When we come back, we will wrap up week 1 of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
This is our love, this is our life. This is our home, Louisiana. This is our day, come what may. This is our home, forever long. This is our home. This is our life. This is our home.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Beep, beep.
Welcome back for the closing segment of week 1 in the 2017 edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Coach, you and I have talked many times over the years, and we have often bemoaned the fact that in the African American community, baseball no longer enjoys the prominence that it did at one time. You and I both came up in an era where all of the businesses in the black community, the churches, everyone sponsored a team, and it was the game, not only the thinking man's game, but it also drew the community together in large part. Once again, we take part in the Urban League Invitational. How important are programs like that to returning baseball to the mainstream in the African American community?
There's been a marked improvement in the number of African American kids who are participating in baseball, as well as young ladies participating in softball, because Major League Baseball recognized that you can't just do for the boys and not do for the girls.
Right.
And now more of them are getting scholarships to go to college and play softball. But what it's done, parents are beginning to get smarter. Where those parents are seeing so many kids are being hurt in football, they are encouraging their kids to play baseball. And that's a good thing. And me being on the Commission on Baseball Diversity Committee, that was one of the things that in 20 years they felt would be a tremendous surge in more African American players playing baseball because of football injuries.
This time of year, you're famous for saying you're not concerned a whole lot about wins, you're more concerned about effort. How'd you come away as far as feeling the effort that was put forth in this past weekend's Urban League Invitational?
Well, you know, if you look at game 1, we struggled, and game 2 we improved, and then in 3 we almost won.
Right.
And the thing that I heard from coaches is that the players played hard. They didn't give up. They liked the effort that they gave. And that's what I'm saying. Right now, being that I coached so many years, I think that they'll be a lot better as we get midway during the season.
Speaking of that point, before we get into conference play, in just 10 seconds or so, give me one area you hope to see improvement in before we start conference play.
In the hitting. I mean, we got to hit better.
Right.
You can't win without scoring run. That's the only game you have to score.
Well, that's going to do it for week 1 of the 2017 edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. A very special thank you, obviously, to all of our sponsors and to the great hospitality shown to us here at the Marriott Hotel at 5500 Hilton Avenue. Before you know it, the weather will moderate itself and we will be back up at Lee Hines Field on the Bluff, and we hope to see you there. On behalf of the coach and the entire crew, I'm Clarence Buggs. We'll see you next week. Till then, go Jags.